Hello, everyone. We are thrilled to have you here as we explore the exciting partnership between ApplyBoard and the Forex platform Riodo. Next slide, please. Some of you may know me. For others, I'm Akshay Seni, Director of Sales at ApplyBoard, and I lead the FX division here at ApplyBoard. I'm joined today by Pawanjit Grewal, founder and CEO of Riodo, and Harkirat Singh. He's the Senior Manager of Marketing and Operations at Riodo. This is basically an opportunity for all of you to learn how this collaboration is going to make Forex payment faster, smarter, and more efficient. Next slide. So here is an overview. In today's session, we are diving into the future of cross-border payments and how ApplyBoard's integration with Riodo's Forex platform will simplify transaction for the students, benefit all of you wonderful ApplyBoard partners. I'll also be sharing a special launch promo with all of you. And then Pawanjit and Harry will talk to you about Riodo's platform and walk you through the entire application process. We'll have some time dedicated for Q&A at the end of the presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to post it under the Q&A tab here on Zoom, and we'll take it along the way as we present or probably at the end. We do have certain FAQs that we have listed. We'll go through that as well. Next slide, please. So now to kick things off, I want to quickly introduce the core of today's webinar. That is the exciting partnership between ApplyBoard and Riodo, which aims at simplifying cross-border payments for Indian students. As we all know that international education often comes with a significant financial component, especially when it comes to paying the tuition fees and sending money abroad to cover living expenses, things like GIC, blocked accounts. So for students, this can be sometimes difficult to navigate. The process is complex and at times very expensive too. And that's where ApplyBoard and Riodo come in. This collaboration is designed to provide secure, seamless, and competitive Forex solutions that make these transactions easier and more affordable for the students. Our focus is on helping the students make cross-border payments and tuition deposits easier. And with this partnership, we are offering support for over 13 currencies. And yes, it includes all the major ones such as US dollar, Canadian dollar, pounds, euros, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and so on. The idea is to ensure that students can transfer the funds quickly, efficiently, and with peace of mind, no matter where they are at. Next slide, please. So let's now dive into how this partnership benefits all of you and why it is a fantastic opportunity for you to grow alongside us. First and foremost, this partnership opens up a new revenue stream for all of our partners. And the partners that you see here in this group, they are part of the pilot. They are the ones to whom we have opened this platform earlier than the others, so you are special. As transactions are initiated through the ApplyBoard platform, you will earn the commission on each one. So this provides a reliable and consistent way to generate revenue as students make payments for tuitions and other related fees. Secondly, we have worked hard to ensure that application process is as simple as possible. And to do that, we have done seamless integration of the Forex solution directly into our Growth Hub section. And partners can now easily access and offer this new service to the students without any hassle. Shit and Harkirat, during this slide, during this presentation, would walk you through the entire process of how the applications can be done and how you can generate quotations for your students. Now, one of the key features that put partner in control, I would say, is the ability to manage the currency markup transaction. So this means that you can directly influence how much revenue you generate from each transaction. That adds a level of flexibility and autonomy to the process. Think of it like this. During my last visit to India, I had met a lot of you and I traveled to multiple cities. I did some research that what exactly do our partners want if and when we launch FX, and majority of of you answered that you want autonomy, you want flexibility. You have been working with your current FX partners where you decide how much of a markup is added to the IBR rate, right? So that's why when we launched this, we ensured that flexibility and that autonomy is provided to you. And lastly, we understand the importance of transparency, and ApplyBoard is known to provide you transparency. That's why with Reader's platform, we offer clear and transparent dashboard that lets you track earnings, application statuses in real time. This means you will always be in the know about how things are progressing and how much you're earning, keeping you well informed every step of the way. All in all, this opportunity offers not only a smoother experience for your students, but also a great way to increase your business profitability and efficiency. Next slide, please. Special one. So we have a launch promo that is only open to all of you. So until 31st of March, we have basically created this launch promo looking at the total transaction value that all of you can make in the next couple of months. So we have three slabs here. The first one is 50,000 to 99,999. The second one goes from 100K to 199,999, and the third one is 200,000 plus. At each tier, you will be eligible for a certain bonus, and the bonus is calculated based on the cumulative earning during the couple of months. So let's say you help students transfer GIC of 20,000. 5 students you do. That means you fall in the 100,000 bracket. So whatever markup you have on the transaction, you will be paid that commission plus a one-time bonus of dollars will be paid to you. This is not per transaction, but this essentially means at the end of 2 months, we will calculate the total transaction value that you have done through ApplyBoard and Reader. And based on that, the bonus tier will be decided and you will be paid the commission after 30 days or within 30 days of the end date of the promo. I will hand it over to Pavanjeet, who is the founder and CEO of Riodo, to talk a little bit more about the platform. Over to you.
Sure. Thank you, Pavanjeet here. I'm founder and CEO for. So we started this journey almost 3 years back when we saw a lot of gaps existing in this market, broken processes. And as a result, what we wanted is to bring a very standardized, frictionless experience for our partners. And that is when we launched almost like 3 years back. We are regulated by RBI, and we also work with a lot of tier 1 banks outside of India as well. One of the benefits that you all will have is that you will see real-time rates on the platform from 10 a.m. in the morning till 4 o'clock in the morning, in the evening. So every 60 seconds, there is a refresh that happens till 4 o'clock. What you will see, what everyone will see on Google or XE will be the same rates that you will see on our platform also. Now, this runs obviously between 10 and 4 p.m., which is the banking hours during which you can initiate the transactions. The other is also what we heard from our partners is we've got a student who's sitting in front of us. How do we get a rate or a quotation? Because you're always calling up someone to get a quotation or a rate. What we've built is a single interface. You not only get to see the IBR rates on the interbank rates, which are there on Google or XE, but you can just do your markup. You can add your incentive or your charges and provide a quotation right there itself to the students. You don't have to call up anyone. Your counselors don't have to make a phone call. There and there itself, you can build a quotation with the student names and the IDs or on your own name and provide a quotation to the student. If the student agrees, that quotation will get converted into a payment flow. And we will share what are the payment flows and how you can initiate a payment in a very seamless manner. We do all kind of payments for education purpose. Tuition fee is one, but you can also do accommodation or other expenses or insurance. For example, OSHC insurance for Australia. So all of them are available to our partners. You can also select the value and initiate the payments from there, upload the documents itself from the platform itself. We are also looking at launching our other corridors beyond India. So Africa, we will be looking to launch early next quarter, and then launching Southeast Asia and Canada and US by second half of this quarter. Our payment app is being launched in partnership with Axis Bank, where you don't have to get the documents. For example, the Aadhaar and the PAN card of your sender who's paying the money is a very painful experience, right? So these documents you don't have to share. You just have to share the documents of the students, and the entire journey is digitized along with Axis Bank, where anyone can send the payments through the app, and the travel card is also going to be live over there. We are in active discussion with multiple universities, and 26 Australian institutes have already provided us their bank account details, which means that you can directly send the tuition payments into the bank account details of some of the universities and colleges in Australia. And we are right now expanding to other institutes as well. We will also be able to generate payment instructions through the university pages by end of this year. There are multiple partnerships that we are doing with institutes outside of India. I'm happy to take any questions. As and when you have any questions, please feel free to make some comments in the section, and happy to address. Over to you, Archit.
Thanks a lot, Pavanji ji. It was really insightful. Looking forward for all these great initiatives which Redo will be coming across with. We'll quickly go over to the main thing, which I'm sure all of you guys will be really excited to look into. Is there are fantastic solutions available with ApplyBoard? How do we avail this particular solution? So I'm sure I'll just quickly go through that solution, how we can avail this thing, where you can get your Redo transaction, where you can see the transaction, where you can actually book the tuition deposits of the student. I'm sure I'll just quickly share my screen and show you one important thing that I'm sure all of you will be aware of: the ApplyBoard platform or the partner platform. So this is how, if you guys can share my scene, this is how the ApplyBoard platform looks like. This is the homepage of this entire thing. On the left-hand side, when you go on the left-hand side, you can see really smallly that it's a link by the name of Growth Hub. I'm sure partners who are already doing GIC with us and doing loans with us will have this awareness. Once you click on the Growth Hub, okay, there are multiple cards here. Amongst these multiple cards, you see this Redo card over here. In this Redo card, it's just you have to click. Once you click here, it will take you to a screen. And from here, I'll be passing on to the Redo team, because this is the Redo platform, and you will be able to see entire transactions, everything. I'll pass it on to Harry for now to actually help you understand where you can see the transactions. Harry, over to you.
Thanks, Archit. Thanks for setting up the context. Hey everyone, as we are seeing Archit's screen, suppose that for the first time user, you have to create a one-time password. Everything will remain in the ApplyBoard's Growth Hub only. You need not to create a new account with us. You need not to create a new ID with us. You just have to remember your ID, and as Archit shown you, there is a card of Redo. You just have to click to that and you will get redirected to this portal. This is the home screen of the portal. The USP of using our platform is, as Pawan mentioned, every time while making a booking, you need not to call anyone, contact anyone, get the rates, and do the bookings. Here, you will see the live IBR rates, plus whatever as per the agreement you will see. You can't go beyond this rate, and you have a flexibility. Whatever markup you want to keep for each transaction, you can keep that accordingly. So now I will start walk you through the entire platform and how to make a booking. So first thing is, So as I see, so as Pawan mentioned, we have a timer which is active from 10 till 4. Ideally, you can make a booking from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. afternoon. Post that the any booking which we made on the platform will be booked on the next consecutive day, next consecutive business day. So our business days are Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So now, so my rate is 61.39. I can't go beyond this. So I put 62.39. I have to enter the students, like example, GIC amount I took for the Canadian dollar, 20,000. Everything will calculate it down below. It's a very transparent platform. You got to see what is the GST charges, bank processing, Nostro, TCS if applicable. Today, in a financial year above 700,000 rupees or equivalent to 700,000 rupees, so there is a TCS of 5%. For the self-funded and for the loan cases, it is 0.5. But as Finance Minister present a new revised financial year TCS updations, so as per the revised updation, it will go to 10 lakhs. Currently, it is 7 lakh and it will go to 10 lakh. But this is just a proposal right now. Whenever it is confirmed by the Parliament, we will accordingly we will update our system and let our partners know. So now we have put in the entire information. Just click on the get code. We have to put in the student details, PAN number while making a transaction. PAN number of the sender is mandatory. Sender is the one who is sending the money, who is paying for the tuition fee. And senders could be the first relative of a student, the spouse, sibling, and parents. Then we have to hit the continue button. It will go in the quotations. Till now, it is not booked with the bank. You have the flexibility if you want to give some time to us. They can discuss with the family how to proceed with that and all this stuff. So they have that time. Till the moment you won't book it with us, it won't get booked. So you have a flexibility like how many quotations you want to create, you can create, and you will see all those quotations down below. On the live rate page only, you need not to toggle to multiple pages. With that, if you get a confirmation, just hit the book now button. Student information which you already filled, you will see the student information. I submitted. Now this transaction is created. It is booked with the bank. We freeze your rates with the bank. Now it comes to the transaction list section where you can see, okay, I booked this much amount for this student having the phone number and everything. So it will open a new pop-up window where you have to upload the basic documents, which is an admission letter of a student, admission or invoice letter, the passport front and back of the student, and if the payment instruction as per the University Offer Letter, the payment is Flywire Conveyor. Then first you have to generate the Flywire letter, and you can upload the Flywire or Conveyor letter or CIBC, Pay My Tuition, everything. So we are dealing all payments. We are dealing with the Flywire, we are dealing with the Conveyor, we are dealing with Pay My Tuition and CIBC. So we are capable of handling all the payments. And even if it is going directly to the tuition, to the institute, then again, for that, you just need to upload the invoice letter. In the other section, the important document, which is for the USS, we need I-20 always. For all the student payments, along with the offer letter, we need a I-20 also. And if this is a loan case, then we need to upload a loan disbursement letter also. Student details already there. So all the universities and colleges basis the selected country, it will pop out. If you find there is a new institute which is not in the reader database, you need not to worry. Just select other and input the institute name. Our system will to the our backend will add it in the system. Then capture the student ID, because most of the institutes, they always ask for a student ID to be on the SWIFT or the invoice. So for that purpose, we need a student ID. Now we need to upload the sender's detail. Sender, as I mentioned, could be the parent, sibling, and the spouse only. So I am uploading the Aadhaar card. So I have to upload the Aadhaar copies front and the back, plus the PAN card. PAN card is the mandatory document for all the transactions. Even the transaction value is below 50,000, then again 50,000 INR. Then again the PAN card is mandatory document. And if I'm talking about the GIC, so for the GIC, parents are doing the transaction or some relatives doing the transaction, then again the student PAN card is mandatory, because bill will get punched to the student PAN card only. Then For the sender, we just need a sender's PAN number and the name. That's it. Beneficiary, as I mentioned, we are capable of handling all sort of payments. So you just have to select this will go to the Convera, Flywire, or you have the direct bank details. So I'm selecting the direct bank details. This is the final confirmation button, which will again give you, okay, you booked the rate at 61.03. You have given this rate to the customer. Everything is okay. Confirm and download the payment instruction. Or if you want to email the payment instruction to the student, so you just need to hit the email payment instruction, and system will automatically send the email to the student on the email ID which we initially used while onboarding a student. Or if you want to give it offline to the student, yes, we can give it offline to the student. You can download it. Let me show you a sample of payment instruction also. Yeah, this is a sample payment instruction letter which will capture the student name, student ID, where this payment is going to, institute name, the foreign currency value, a denomination, and the currency name. And plus down below you will find the banking information where the payment where the student has to make the payment. So this is like Axis Bank, beneficiary name, beneficiary bank address is Chamwood Village, IFSC code we have, account number we have, and the account name. Then further, this is just for the student reference. Now coming back to the platform. So once the transaction is done, our backend team will upload a Swift copy within 24 hours, and you will find the Swift copy here only, where you can see it. And if you want, you can download and send it to the student. Now we have certain more features in the platform. Quotation in, if I want to see, I have given quotation to the student. So for that, we again simplified it into two parameters, which is one is with transaction and one is without transaction. So you can see or how much your team is performing, how many quotations they are creating in a day, and how many actual transactions created quotations created are happening as a transaction. So you can see from here only. I have created one transaction quotation at this much time, and this is converted to the transactions. I can see a complete view of the transactions, how many transactions I did. I can put a multiple filters. This is pending with my team for the KYC. Once they approve the KYC, it will become a KYC approved. Then once the Swift is uploaded, then you will see the status has confirmed. Now we have a dashboard also. Dashboard is your view, how many transactions you have done till date, total number of transactions you will see, as this is a dummy account and this is blank. Total transactions you have done, total value of the transactions you have done, total number of currencies you are handling. And again, you can put multiple filters if you want to. If you want to see how many payments you have done for the study or tuition, you can select that. Travel, you can select that. GIC, you can select that. And remittance for the living expense. So everything you can filter it out from the drop down itself. Then we have a filter of month, year, last 30 days, last 20 days, or even if we want to customize it, we can put a customized filter. So this is a bird's eye view of all the transactions you have done. You have a simple report in front of you. So yeah, that's it. So this all is about the Redo platform. So over to you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Harry. It was really insightful. Harry, if you can just share some further insights about what all payments do we what all payments do we take for the tuition department, tuition deposits, apart from Flywire and Convera? Do we have other payment modes also accessible for us?
Yeah, so all the payments mode which are mentioned on the university's offer letter. So we are doing Convera payments, we are doing Flywire payments, we are doing make payments, and we are even doing the CIBC also.
Okay. One question that came into me right now was, I'll take it during the, but it was more relevant to this thing. Is there an additional step for these tuition deposits? Is there a place where they can mention the payment slide from which I could see Convera, I could see the other Flywire one for CIBC and other. Is there a way they can mention that as well?
Yeah, see, CIBC and pay my tuition. So these are very nominal transactions we are getting, but yeah, as per your suggestion, I can put them in the drop down also.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, otherwise If you won't find, you can just select the bank details.
Oh, okay. Over to you, Harry. Some of the best practice. If you could help us, what are the documents needed? What all kind of transactions we accept over here? If you can just help us with that.
Yeah. So as Pawan mentioned, so for the all, we are facilitating all kind of international student payments, which are the tuition fees. We can start the tuition fee from a very starting itself, which is making a tuition deposits, which are very minimal of $200 or $500. We can start from there only. We are capable of handling the small payments also. So these all come as the tuition fee. Then we are taking care of the accommodation payments also. We are taking care of the tuition fee. If somebody took a loan, even they took a loan from some NBFC or from some mainstream 81 banks, all that type of payments we are handling, in very obvious the GIC and expatrio blocked accounts, and for Australia we are taking care of the OSHC payments and all that stuff. Per the RBI guidelines, student details are mandatory for all the student transactions. When I'm talking about the student transactions, so we call them as an 82 transactions. So for all the 82 transactions, the student passport, the offer letter or invoice letter, passport front and back. So this is mandatory document. And for the US, I-20 is mandatory along with the offer letter. If I'm talking about the accommodation payments, so from the student per se, I need these documents, passport, offer letter, university offer letter, and all that stuff. Plus the additional document which I need is a rent agreement duly signed between a student. Make sure it's signed between student and the owner. It's not signed between student, it's signed between some of the students relative and the owner. So we won't accept that. It has to be signed between the student and the property owner. For tuition fee, if the tuition fee source of funds is loan, then we need a loan sanction and disbursement letter both. Only sanction letter won't work and only disbursement letter won't work. So we need sanction and disbursement letter both. And for the GIC letter, so GIC instruction sheet is mandatory. Remitter document, remitter as I mentioned, so remitter could be first relative of the student. It could be spouse, siblings, and parents. In some cases, yes, in-laws even can do the payment. But for that, we have to give the relation proof. If a male student is going and their in-laws is funding his studies, then we need to show the in-laws proof, which will be their marriage registration certificate, where the husband-wife name is there, and then in the wife's name, whoever is sending the money, their name has to be mentioned, their PAN card. So wife's PAN card will, in that case, suffice. I'm talking
Additional doc. So basically, you need additional relationship proof documents. In case of
relationship proof.
sibling, it is Aadhaar card or PAN card. The father name should be same. In case of spouse, the marriage document or passport document with the updated spouse name should be.
Yeah. And for the GIC letter, whomsoever is making the payment, student PAN card is mandatory. And all these PAN cards has to be without the thumb impression. All the PAN cards has to be signed PAN card.
Okay, so for GIC, can somebody else also do, apart from this, who all can do the GIC? Is there a option of somebody else also doing for the GIC?
Initially, last year, so banks are accepting the GIC payment only from the student's account. Now they give, as the GIC shoot up from 10,000 to 20,000, so bank gave a flexibility to avoid the TCS, so they can do a split payments. In split payment, we encourage the split payment between the family only. But yes, if somebody else is doing on the student's behalf, some maternal uncle or father's brother, yes, they can do it. But the invoice will be punched on the name of student only, and the student PAN card is mandatory.
So both the payments can be done by this thing, or the first payment has to be done by student and
First initially has to be by the student, and this is not RBI's guideline. This can vary basis the bank at the Canada side. So initially, CIBC is not accepting third-party payment. They gradually started accepting the third-party payments. So same cases with the Nova Scotia and the RBCs. So if they are allowing the payments, if they are allowing these kinds of payment, then yes, we can do it.
Okay, so if the Canadian bank allows us a third-party payment, they are not they don't want, they are flexible with that the student does not pay, somebody else can pay. So we can do the payments through their siblings as well, correct? Or first cousins or second cousins. In that case, do we need some relationship document?
No, so because the invoice will be passed on to the name of student PAN card, so no relationship proof is needed.
Perfect, makes sense. I'll go to the next slide. Again, so this has, I hope we were able to cover the training points, Hari. It was really wonderful. Partners, we have, based on the feedback of the market and based on whatever experience we have gotten, we have collated some of the frequently asked questions. What are the most questions which probably a person or a student might ask you? And what better person than the Redo team to answer those questions? So we'll start with that. Hari, if you would enlighten me with some of the questions, answers of some of the questions which we have collated. So first, more important, how do I make a payment from my bank account? How does a student do that?
See, the best part using our platform is you can use your existing bank account. Okay. Payments we are currently facilitating is the NEFT and the RTGS. You can go to your bank where you are holding an account, even it's a very small corporative bank in the suburbs of the India. You just have to go to the bank. As I shown the payment instruction where the Redo's bank account details are mentioned. So these are the local Indian banks. So for that, you don't need any special privilege. So whatever account you are holding in India, using that account, you just have to add our account in the beneficiary section and you can make a payment. If you are going to your bank, then you just have to let them know in your self signed check. You just have to input the our bank account information at the back and just put the INR value and transaction will be done.
Thanks a lot. Okay. Probably can I get my TCS, or probably how can I get my TCS amount back? This might be an important question right now for all the students, for especially for GIC or some other huge tuition deposits high there.
Yeah. So the moment a student or parents they file their ITR by the end of the financial year, so they can see the statement in the 26 AS. So whenever we did a 10 TCS, by the next quarter, you will get a TCS certificate also. And even you can see that in the 26 AS section of your ITR portal itself. So I'm taking an example. This year, my income tax is liability is 1 lakh rupees. And 20,000 of my or 25,000 of my TCS is deducted. Then by the end of the financial year, when I have to pay the tax, I have to pay 75,000 only because 25,000 is already there in the system. If I am an employed son, because my employer is deducting my this thing tax every time they make a payout, they are deducting my tax. So they will continue keep on deducting the tax. By the end of the year, financial year, in the June or July, whenever we file an ITR, so during filing the ITR, we can claim that 20% back. And this all is done very seamlessly through the.
Thanks for that as well. That leads to the another question. Can we use our current account to do the Forex remittance? That's a pretty important question. Can we?
Strictly no. Strictly, RBI doesn't allow any international transfers to be happen from current account. RBI is very strict on this. So no current account, only the savings. And if this is and in the savings account, we can use the joint account also. Sometime this question came up, joint account. So if in the joint account, I'm the primary holder, but my wife is going for the studies, and we said my wife is making this payment, but the payment came from the joint account and the primary holder is me. So Harkirat Singh is coming up. Whenever we receive a funds, we receive the sender details also from which account this payment come. So sometime our team will ask for additional proof, which is a passbook front or a check, because on the check and the passbook, both the joint holder name are mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably I've been shifted to a foreign country, but I still have savings account in it. May I use my savings account to transfer? That's probably a question from a student there in Canada and wants to transfer their second year's fees, or probably second installment fees. Can we do that?
Because we are taking offer letter as a proof of a study. So while somebody moves out from the India, even it's on the student study permit, RBI or our Indian banking system consider them. So they become NRI. So NRIs can't use their Indian account. This is against the compliance. Somebody sitting outside how they are doing the RTGS and NEFTs from the Indian bank account. So the moment their course is started, they can't use their Indian bank account for the transfers. We strictly encourage till the day student is in India to save the TCS. Till that time, student use their account, even it's the fund is with the parents' father's account. Moving the funds from father account to the student account, there will be no tax liability. Till the day student is in India, they can use their account. The moment there is an offer, the day when the offer is started and the college enrollment is college session is started, student is can't use their bank account even if they are in India. Even if they are India, they skipped their first semester or
Yeah.
they took any extension. For that case, they have to give the proof of extension also. If
So that
a
probably
student,
this,
yeah.
sorry,
So
and
if
this is
student came for like a certain break also, sorry, Archit, if student came for a break like a summer break or a winter break, and student is in India, for these transactions, student again has to give their passport stamps, like when they are in India, the duration and their tickets.
okay. Okay, and probably what we were discussing before, their first cousins or their blood relatives can do the payment on there, and they can support the relationship proof, and then they can do it.
First, cousins for tuition fee, no, cousins can't do the payment. Cousins can only do the payment for GIC. For the
Okay,
tuition fee, only the parent sibling. Yeah.
perfect. That's all. Yeah, okay. That leads us to the next question. Can I cancel or modify an international transfer after it's been booked? That's an important question. That in fact came in our Q&A section as well.
Yeah. Once the booking is made, as I showed you over the platform, till the time we are at the quotation level, there will be no charges. But after submitting the student information, and when I click on the book now and again confirm, then this is confirmed with the bank. So after any transaction is confirmed with the bank and we want to modify it, I can take an example modification. If I want to make 10,000 to 11,000, then there will be minimalistic charges, or I can say this is because market is volatile. Currency is going up and down by every single minute. So the first 10,000 when I booked, the rate was at 62 rupees. And when I asked to add another $1,000, so it will become 62.5. So for the additional 1,000, the rate will be 62.5. For first 10,000, the rate will be 62 only. But once it is booked with the bank, even after 2 minutes, I say cancel my transaction, then yes, there will be a penalty.
Okay, that leads to the next question. What do Nostro bank charges refer to?
So Nostro is an account. Nostro is an account which Indian banks and foreign banks hold for the money movement. RBI only approved a SWIFT network in India where the money movement can happen. And
Okay.
these charges we call, when we talk about the Nostro charges, so these charges are the charges which network put on the banks to hold a Nostro account. So this is basically a Nostro maintenance charges. Why we encourage deducting the Nostro at the hour? There are two parameters of the Nostro. First is the hour, OUR, and the second one is the beneficiary. We call it as a BEN. We encourage students whenever they are doing a tuition payments to put a Nostro on the hour side, which is at the center side, because it's very clean. Like you have to pay 1,100 upfront. Whatever the money you are sending, 10,000 Canadian dollars, university will receive the 10,000 Canadian dollars. But the moment we select the beneficiary section, so it is at the discretion of the receiver bank how much money they want to deduct, they can deduct. Then we don't have any control, and your university will end up getting the less money. It
Yeah.
could range
So
between $25 to $50. But there we have seen many cases where there are very premium universities. They release cash only on a condition when there is a complete payment made. And we have seen cases, a student said, okay, charge it to the beneficiary. There is a deduction of $30. Again, they have to pay those $30 with
yeah.
paying a 1,100.
Yeah, got it, Hakirata. Probably I'll just summarize it. Nostro charges will be applicable no matter what. It's just that either the student pays it or if the college pays it It's better that the student pays it. That's the transparency we are talking about. Correct. Leading to the next question, does Redo process transaction for tuition fees whose payment methods are Flywire? And just one additional, if you could quickly tell, is there a significant difference if the partner goes through the Flywire platform for their transaction, or is there a benefit which they guys can get if they go through us as well for these things?
Typically, Flywire is charging close to 2.5 to 3% on every transaction. We are not getting, or if we are getting any incentive, so this is at a very limited or a fixed value. Wherein using our platform, you have to generate a Flywire instruction letter in USD, and by using our platform, you have a flexibility to put your own markups, to set your own markup. Yes, as I mentioned, so we are capable of handling all the payments, Flywire, CIBC, Conveyor, and Pay My Tuition.
Quickly, last question. Quickly adding on to this, is this cheaper? Is this way cheaper than going to Flywire? Yes or no?
Yes.
Perfect. That's a lot of questions which probably a student might ask. What is a Swift and a TT copy?
So this is just an acknowledgement of like your funds are moved to the Swift network. Your funds are deposited to the Swift network. All the Indian KYC and everything is done. Now your funds are with the SwiftNet beneficiary bank or the university bank. They just have to approve it and they will get the funds.
Okay, so I have one question. I think that's it. That's really great. I think we covered quite a lot of questions out of it. That leads us to one important last point, which already Harry had mentioned before as well, that all the PAN cards related to sender, please make sure that they are linked with the Aadhaar card. If at all you're not sure, we can help you with that for understanding how, if that particular student's or that sender's PAN card is already linked. So that's an important part which we wanted to mention. Just one additional thing, Harry, I'm sure we have covered quite a lot of things. There are a couple of questions and we'll open the floor for the questions and I'll see what all questions have come in. What important question which came in was by one of the partners was that do we have to share, does the student have to share any QTR link after the transaction is done? Does the student have to share anything as a proof of concept of payment?
Yeah, so if we get the UTR, because we are getting like close to 500 or 700 transactions in a day, so sharing a UTR will make a process little more efficient because we have some common names in our system. Like Amit Kumar is a very common name. So it will
Okay.
become very difficult for us to do the reconciliation if we get a UTR. So this is and it is very helpful for us.
Okay, that's important. That's good. I'll just go through any partners, any further questions. If we book any dollar for transaction student, if any reason client not pay the fees, yeah, we have already answered that. Yes, Sunny, we have a cancellation charges and those cancellation charges depend on the transaction at that point of time. There's no fixed cost over here. It keeps on changing. Then, okay, I think one has been answered by Akshay. That's it. I'm not seeing any questions. So yeah, one anonymous person, what will be the benefits? So one of the major benefits of doing transactions with Redo is, like Pavanjeet and Harry mentioned, there's no capping of your commission. It's right there in your hand. That is one of the major benefits. 1 rupees, 2 rupees, 3 rupees. As long as the student is comfortable, as long as you're comfortable, you can earn that. Okay, there's no limit for this thing. Pavanji ji, probably if you can, you've answered already in that, if you can share some insight over this thing, what all additional benefits we can have apart from the
Sure.
for that.
I think just one last question was how many days the booking is valid. So the booking is valid if you book today. The booking is going to be valid till day after tomorrow, which is 2 days or 1.5 days. So any booking done on, let's say, Wednesday will be valid till Friday afternoons. The other thing coming back to the benefits is, one, it is a very transparent system which gives you the live rates which on the likes of XC and Google, and there is no additional charges or hidden charges which are there in the system. The second is that it also creates transparency for you in terms of reporting, so that you guys know that when the transaction happened, what was the interbank rates, what was the charges applied, and what was your markup. Because we heard a lot of partners complaining that they never get to know at the end of the month what are the interbank rates, and the partners may change the rates later on, and the incentives as a result change, which impacts your earnings. The second is, which a lot of our partners have come back and said, is the flexibility that is given to them, because their staff, their counselors don't have to call us or anyone to check the rates, book the rates, or book quotation, or do a booking with the bank. It is all online. It is all your partners or your staff needs for you to just go ahead and do the booking yourself without having to go back and forth with any of your partners. And third is, like I said, the cost aspect is where you have a complete flexibility of choosing what rates the customer can be converted upon. So rather than we telling you that this is the rate at which you have to charge, we've given you that flexibility of the charges that can be applied over there, right? So that's the three main benefits that we've been told by our partners, that this is what they see as the benefits of.
I'm sure transparency is really important for this thing. Thanks a lot, Team Redo, for sharing your valuable insight. To Akshay, if you could just...
I just see one last question coming in
Yeah.
from the. So, Pawan, this is probably for you. Will we receive any confirmation from Redo that the funds have been received?
Yes, you do receive the SWIFT copy, which is the confirmation of the funds having been received and initiated with the partner bank. Now, depending on university to university, they would be confirming it directly back to the email ID or the partner ID that has been mentioned over there.
Is there any typical timeline, Pawan, that the partner should be aware of?
Good question, Akshay, over here. So what we've seen is the most efficient days, both in terms of the cost and in terms of transferring, is between Tuesday to Thursdays. A lot of countries, the banking systems are very old as of now. So it is still a manual settlement that is done, where the banks have to clear the payments in the morning when they come in. So we see that the delays, if you've done a payment on a Friday, the payments will probably get delayed on a Monday or an afternoon or evening. If there are extended holidays, let's say there's a extended weekend, for example, it's a Friday which is off, and you do a payment on a Thursday, then again the payments may get delayed, where the confirmation may come on Monday, or in some cases on Tuesday also. So just be sure that whenever you're doing the payments, the most efficient days are in the middle of the week. And also, just to ensure that if there are extended holidays, then try to avoid making payments on those extended holidays, or just one day before that holiday.
Pawan. And if there are no other questions, we can wrap it up. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today for this webinar. You have my details and Archit's details, so in case you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us. And I would highly encourage all of you to ApplyBoard platform, go through Growth Hub. If the account is not yet created on Redo, then just click on the link that you see in the Growth Hub. You will be asked to create a password the first time. So create that, and then you can share that password with your team, your counselors, so they can start transacting on Redo's platform themselves, and you can actually go and see how many transactions are being done. Stuti, yes, this is a recorded session, and after this webinar, we'll be sending a copy of the entire recording. Okay, have a great evening, everyone, and we'll chat soon. Thank you so much, Team Redo, Harry and Pawan, and thank you so much. Thanks a lot, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.